The richest man in the world is going after people's retirement.
No, he isn't. Yo, how does this dusty librarian manage to be wrong every single time?
The money they've earned over a lifetime of hard work. Yep, that's right.
No, that's not right, Mothball. He's trying to eliminate the waste, fraud, and abuse in the Social Security system so that it doesn't go bankrupt. And if you want to talk about taking hard-earned money that you've earned over a lifetime, your traditional IRA gets taxed. That's your investment retirement account. If you sell your stock market investments, you pay long-term capital gains on those. If you sell your house to downsize, you pay tax on that. If you sell the business that you've been running your whole life, you pay tax on that. If you've owned your home for 50 years, you're still paying property taxes on that. And if you don't pay it, they'll take the house away. And then when you die and you pass that on to your kids, well, there was a tax on that as well. You've been in office over a decade. I never heard you talk about any of that. You don't care about people's retirement. You're just talking about it now because you got somebody to blame.
Elon Musk calls Social Security, quote, the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
Yeah, because it is different colored top coat. This is from the official .gov Government Accountability Office. What does that say, librarian? The program has paid out more than it received since 2010. This was posted on the official .gov website back in August, 6 months ago. The program could be insolvent in less than 10 years. But who cares, right? Elizabeth Warren probably won't be around for that. What is a Ponzi scheme anyways? The official government definition, an investment fraud that pays existing investors with funds collected from new investors. They often promise to invest your money with little to no risk. Social Security benefits for seniors and the soon and currently retiring baby boomer generation are being paid out by present-day workers. And with declining birth rates and an aging population, this could be a problem. If Social Security were to run out of money or become insolvent, then what happens? Either the payments get cut or they have to get it from somewhere, like print it out of thin air. Printing it out of thin air causes inflation, causes prices to rise, and thus you have to issue more increased Social Security benefits so that those people can take care of themselves. Popular increases to Social Security are called cost of living adjustments, or COLAs. Here's a chart of the cost of living adjustment for the last 10 years. Notice anything? This is the annual increase since 2020. The largest cost of living adjustment was in 2023 at 8.7%, followed the following year by 5.9%. If Elon is discovering that people are listed in the Social Security accounting system that are over 150-something years old, how could any person possibly not want those people to be eliminated from those lists? And a popular argument from these mothballs is, oh, it's not even really that much fraud that's going out. It's less than 1%. Which certainly sounds like not that big of a deal if you don't care about money or people or anything, but that could amount to something like $70 million a year in fraudulent payments. So cleaning up this system, identifying people that should no longer be on those rolls, identifying waste, fraud, and abuse, and saving the taxpayer $70-something million a year, at the very least will extend the life of the program, thus preserving the likelihood that those benefits would continue to be paid out at the same rate to the people that you're pretending you care to protect. But because Elon is the wealthiest person in the world, you're all mad about it. People just casually overlook intent. Elon could spend $1 million a day every day for the rest of his life and still die with probably hundreds of billions of dollars. Simply put, he don't need this. He doesn't need this job. He doesn't need these threats. But some dusty librarian that's been in there for 13 years that never did nothing to preserve nothing, she suddenly cares?
So I got a message for Elon. Get your hands off our Social Security.
The reality is that something's going to need to happen to Social Security benefits whether we like it or not, because the math isn't mathing. But no politician ever wants to touch it because it's not politically favorable to discuss. Reforming an entitlement program is understandably not very popular. But without some change, it will run out of money. But this type of commentary from dusty mothballs like Liz make it very clear why this has been a taboo subject, because they're not talking about reducing the amounts that are getting paid out to people. They're talking about cleaning up the rolls to eliminate the fraud. That's it, not cutting it at all. And they're still reacting this way. But mothballs like Liz Warren, who get to shriek about it as she approaches her 80s, that won't affect her at all. And it will be the next generation's problem to solve. But people like Elon, who happen to have a little bit of foresight, are actually getting ahead of it. Which is something that these bureaucrats don't have the integrity to do. They just shriek into their social media accounts wearing a different colored top coat. The richest man in the world, shut up. Who lives in a mothball under the sea? Crusty librarian. Soggy and moldy and lying is she? Crusty librarian.